This Manual Plus item is designed to supplement the WGI Adjudication Manual and Rulebook for intended use by WGI judges, WGI's circuit partners, and their judge associations. Over the last couple of years, we've emphasized the use of profiling to reflect the performance of the day for each color guard. The relativity between your subcaption scores is your first way to communicate to the unit your impression of that day's performance relative to its potential. Let's look at a sample where we might assign a first box number that's in the middle of box 4, a 75 or a 75. When we go to assign the second box number, let's look at the range made available by our profiling guidelines. As we go to assign that second number, let's use that 75 as a reference point. See that the range available to you is as far as a point below your first box number up to 4/10 above your first box number. In a typical, more formulaic approach, we would see this second box number placed simply 2/10 below the first box. Notice by seeing this range available how much potential range in profiling that's actually not being used. Many times we're hesitant to put the second box over the first box, but especially in those younger training classes of A and Regional A, this should be more common. We've battled the formulaic approach to profiling with the 2/10 down for a number of years. Ultimately, when the initial number is responded to by a number that's only 2/10 down throughout the round, we're only judging one subcaption. This goes against the philosophy of the two subcaption system that combine to create the score, and ultimately diminishes your effectiveness and discounts your expertise. We know that the extreme of 1 point down or 4/10 above will not always be used, but we can all work to apply a wider range within these profiling guidelines. Very few of us have been at risk of going outside of these guidelines. Remember that the distinctions between your two numbers for each of the subcaptions gives the unit a better sense of their competitive vulnerabilities. The best judges rank and rate within each subcaption. When considering a factored system, the use of proper profiling and the use of the full range of numbers available in the profiling guideline will help ensure the proper application of these weighted and factored systems. When ranges are seen on the spreadsheet, there's painful evidence that we're only using a small portion of what is actually available and perhaps not reflecting the true differences between units. Some judges defaulting to a more formulaic approach to profiling will usually have that excellence number maybe 1 or 2/10 only down from vocabulary. When we do this over a long period of time, realize that all we're doing is judging one subcaption, particularly vocabulary, and in a system weighted towards excellence, this kind of defeats the purpose. Understand that when using a factored system, the use of the full range of numbers within the profiling guidelines is what keeps it the most effective. Some judges that are not strong with this will need to do some work in order for these factored systems to work correctly. Now, it's important to understand that each of these subcaptions are factored separately, obviously one greater than the other. This means that when considering the raw bottom line scores, this is before factoring, and then comparing them to the factored bottom line scores, these are factored totals, there may be changes in placement. Here's an example. Understand that we see these shifts in placement as successes. This is telling us that a weighted system is working, that a group with a special emphasis in excellence is perhaps getting the benefit of the doubt, with the numeric ranges in the old weighted box criteria. You see the importance of profiling through this. Now, when considering that bottom lines can switch between the raw total versus the factored total, it's important to know that subcaption ranking never changes. All judges, in all captions, in all classes, have always been asked to rank and rate inside each subcaption. In this factored system, ranking within the subcaption is key. It does not change from raw to factored numbers. Only the values of these numbers shift. So once they're combined, it may cause a shift in the bottom line, with the dollars being exchanged in the country of excellence coming out on top.